Hello there, From17 once again, bringing you another Bayonetta video walkthrough on hard difficulty. And as you can see, we've just got the Odette and the Durgas, which are the gauntlets. And yeah, we've got a boss fight coming up. I'm just going through the shop to see if anything new's here, and we have Bat Within, which is a really useful move because this allows you to be slightly late with your evades, and they will activate Witch Time. Because what happens once you have the Bat Within is, the second you take damage and the rose appears on Bayonetta's body, if you press dodge then, you will activate the Witch Time. And it will have the same effect as it would have before, and it cancels out the damage. A little similar to the Ukemi off of Beautiful Joe, if you ever played that game. Fantastic game. Works completely different, but to a similar effect. And I'm just scanning through the shop once again here to make sure that I'm ready to take on this next dude. And I can still buy Witch Hearts and I can still buy Moon Pearls, so it means that neither my life or my torture bar is full yet, but it's definitely coming on there. It's keeping me alive. And this porno saxo is fucking awesome. Get some of this shit on in a lounge, you'll sell millions, guaranteed. I'll patent that shit and make millions with you. Total partnership. And this is Chapter 7, the Cardinal Virtue of Temperance. And here he is, he's a big fucker. So the first thing to note here is he puts his arm down, so you have to smack the orbs on his arm. Watch his other arm that's rearing up there for the attack. If you can do enough damage, you'll stop him from attacking. And he just alternates this position. And right now you can jump across to the other platform if you want, but I generally don't. I generally continue beating him up and just do as much damage as I can. A little quick tip for you: as you see the gunshots getting closer to you when he's strafing them from the left to the right, if you keep tapping into Panther Form, the second you transform into it is going to be classed as your evasive Witch Time moment. You will be able to stop from taking damage at that moment in time, so you'll see me in a few minutes doing attacks, dashing into Panther, as you can see, into Panther attack, and I dodge a lot of times when I should have took damage, and there I take a little bit of damage, but it's nothing too massive. I fought this guy a bunch of times, and if you can master the dodge formations on some of the moves when you're doing the dodge Panther move, you can do it without being injured because you're generally immortal for a good... I mean, look at that. I'm even getting torture orbs for dodging because it's that simple to do. And then once you trigger the counter, you run up his arm. Always run to the inside to avoid the snakes, and those blue things will dash at you, so make sure you evade them. And then beat this up. This orb has one of two moves. There's a second move that releases the little electronic shock, so make sure you dodge that or else it will damage you. The other one is the blue characters that float above it and then home in like missiles. And this fight is pretty simple really. You just repeat this process. You beat up the orb on his hands to get to his arms, and then once you pull both his arms off you get to fight on his torso, where it becomes a little different, but this is not a difficult boss. It's an awesome looking boss, but very little else. So now he's only got one arm, he's going to start shooting with his eyes, and it's the same process. Double tap the trigger to do the Panther dodge, and just keep attacking his hands. That was an example of the Bat Within. A little late on my evade, but it stopped me from taking damage, which is always good. Just watch out for his eye lasers. He's doing some fucking Superman on you. And this will trigger another Witch Time moment, because if you jump in the right direction you can now throw an 18-wheeler at him, but I'm a retard, so I jumped in the complete wrong area because it's been a while. But you will see an example of that when it's done correctly, because it does happen later on. So just keep beating on his fingers. If you don't get the opportunities to throw the cars at him. And here he goes, he's going to punch the platform again, which means he's going to knock you away, and you get to jump towards the van. So this time, I think, hang on, I remember, there it is, big 18-wheeler. And you toss that bastard at him, straight in the face, 18-wheeler to the face. And then jump back across and you can run up his arm. Or beat his arm up, should I say. And this is just another version of the strafe shot, where he drags it in closer to you, so do your double dash with your panther, and keep attacking. It's a fantastic example of it there. I'm dashing, I'm attacking, and it's all working out pretty well. And that means it's the end of the second phase, so you can run up his arm. Note once again I jump to the inside to avoid the wind dragon. And then just repeat the same thing you did last time on the centre. Things will start to get more chaotic if you have a full life bar and he starts to lose, because the game will sometimes ramp the difficulty up slightly as it adjusts, but you don't tend to see too much of it on this one because the enemies don't get too frenetic towards the end, unless you're versing your Jean, sorry. Because she will start to get super psycho when she has no life, and she'll just go balls to the wall on you. And this is the second form of the fight, and if you're good enough here, well, not really good enough, if you're quick enough you can keep your combo from the last fight, and this is how you farm the halos when you're doing it correctly. And you'll notice my combo is really high, and once you destroy these orbs, they have the same moves as the other ones. It'll show you a little cinematic, and then you've got to run to another one, and if you're quick enough once again you can keep your combo going through every single stage of this, but I'm not, unfortunately, because I get stuck right there and I lose it, but I'm not trying to farm, so I'm okay with it. And you just repeat this until all these energy beams that lead to these little globes on his body have been destroyed, and then you get to fight his big ass face. And this fight, I must say, when I first did it I thought it was brilliant, because you're flying through the air, there's debris everywhere, there's all these particle effects happening, it's so epic, the music's just great, it's just pure violence and just pure brutality, and it still is, to this day, still pretty damn impressive if you've not seen it. But it's not as challenging as it looks a lot more involving than it is. Kind of similar to Shadow of Colossus, how the Colossi, before you figured out their weak spots, were really big and really imposing and really tricky, and then as soon as you find out how to kill them, they were just big fucking babies. Excuse me. So this guy's starting to dwindle now, he's losing all his skirt and he's turning into rock. As he cracks and crumbles like the relic he is. And just keep going to town on his weak spots. And this is the final section now. You're into the last and final form of the boss. And its face itself can grab you with its mouth and do a little ride me around, which will damage you, but if you spin the analog you get out of it. When he tilts his head up like that, it means you're going to now be chased by a load of beams. His eye flashing means he's going to do that, so be aware. And he'll also do a mouth beam, which he'll rotate his head, and it goes, I think it's counterclockwise all the way around and back to its normal position. He releases the dragons, if you've seen there, so just watch them and just beat him up as much as you can. I use the panther dash and the attack because I can do damage and I can dodge a lot of attacks, but as you can see it doesn't always work, so I am getting my ass kicked a little bit. You can change back to your sword, and in fact if you change to the sword you will kill this guy significantly faster, but I just got the gauntlet so I wanted to have some fun. And just keep evading, attacking when you get the opportunity, and just watch him for what he's doing, because he's a little cheesy on this phase. It is easily the worst phase of the fight, and if you do successfully dodge like that, the witch time, you'll just destroy him, because he doesn't last very long when you're in his face. Just dash, attack, and it looks like this one's gonna be a lot closer than it should be, because this is not a hard fight really. And look at this is really closer than it should be. At least it's a little bit more entertaining to watch when I come so close to dying. And here we go, naked time. There we go. Fist of the North Star on him. Ooh. But there goes Temperance. Another one of the Cardinals of Virtue is down. That's the end of Chapter 7, and I'll see you guys in Chapter 8. So keep watching. Thank you for your time.